Yeah, so we're here to discuss the iconic match yesterday, the Southern Derby. You can call it RCB versus CSK. As an RCB fan, I am obviously elated. I'm super happy. I can't imagine how easy it is to win for RCB. I think since 2008, it's the first time RCB is winning at the Chepauk, and such a excited feeling. But as an RCB fan, like you expected some competition, right? You know it's not going to be easy to beat CSK, but that competition never came. I don't know. The CSK team didn't turn up. What are your first thoughts, Shiv?
First of all, it was not iconic at all. Let me just put it that. Let's start from there, right? And and you don't have to be humble about it, okay?
Simple was not something I expected a competition. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, actually, only one team turned up, unfortunately. I think
Yeah,
I think uh, when RCB, the moment RCB scored those 190 odd runs,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
not a 190 wicket. It was a typical
yeah,
CSK Chepauk wicket where
yeah,
170, 165 would have been a par total. And I think the fireworks by Tim David in the final over shifted the momentum entirely towards RCB, right? And the
yeah,
moment RCB lost those couple of wickets, Tripathi and Gaikwad in Hazelwood's first over, I think it was pretty much done.
yeah.
Because if CSK had any chance to chase that down, you needed a good opening partnership, you needed a good power play, but that did
Correct.
not happen. And suddenly, if you see that wicket also sort of started assisting to his spinners more, it was gripping, it was turning, it was stopping a bit. Uh, so the middle order actually did not have much chance to do anything about it.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I think, like you said, right. Once you post a 190 score at Chepauk, and you're chasing that, it's difficult, and that is not a score. I mean, CSK should not have allowed RCB to score that much. And I think two big factors. One factor you already mentioned, the Tim David innings in the end, the last over, that added that extra 20 run, and the other 20 runs extra came up from dropping Rajat Patidar. I mean, if you drop him at 17, and he's such a good player of spin, right? I mean, he can attack, take down spin so easily. And that's exactly what he did. He scored a 50 as well. I think those 40, 50 runs was the difference between a good match and a tough chase.
I think to start with, the RCB came out with a plan. Let's be honest about
Hmm.
it. They had a solid strategy in place. Uh, Phil Salt went really hard, top of the order. So did Padikkal, which was
Yeah,
unlike Padikkal, was like really aggressive at top of the order. They took
yeah,
down spinners early in the innings. Both Ashwin and Jadeja struggled, and they had a super power play. And
yeah.
so Kohli, although was struggling, he hardly had any momentum in the innings until unless he got that hit on that blow on his head
To the
by
head.
Patidar. That
Yeah,
sort of got him charged, which was good to see as a
yeah,
as a as a, as a Kohli fan. But I think it was like you mentioned, that was a sitter which Deepak Huda dropped.
yeah, yeah,
They should have taken that, and that made a huge difference. If they would have got Patidar at that stage, he was like
yeah.
playing
It would
really
have
hot.
been tough.
I think that would have definitely made a impact. And I mean, like we discussed, no, 160, 165 would have been an ideal total for Chennai
Correct.
to chase that. The moment it crossed 175, 180, 190 is a different deal on that particular
Yeah,
wicket. So there was no. But I think I'd want to talk about the strategy part from the CSK side. Not too often you say that about a CSK team, when Dhoni is present on the ground. Although Gaikwad is the captain, but still Dhoni was there on the ground. That they were looking a little clueless with respect to the strategy.
hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. Agree. I mean, I think Khalil bowled very well up front, but I don't know why you had to bring Ashwin in so early. I mean, you had a set plan just because I mean Ashwin he's always brought into this attacking sort of a spinner role, right? Maybe you don't need that, and that sort of when you knew that CSK put up Ashwin up front, you needed some panic. RCB has created some panic, and that actually played the part also. Then RCB always were dominating. Even though wickets fell, you could feel that RCB had an upper hand, and they had played into the minds of CSK. Like you said, that strategy was disrupted. And again, Kohli, I mean, though Kohli didn't really get the hang of that pitch, he kept trying. And it didn't look nice, but he kept trying for getting the shots, and that is good to see intent, right? I mean, okay, you can't score a certain pitch, certain conditions. That's fine, I completely agree. But good to see that intent. Good to see intent from Padikkal as well. That was the main difference between those two sides, is what I felt.
I mean, I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself, but I think this time the balance of RCB is
Mm.
damn good. Whether you talk about
Yeah,
the batting middle order, the depth in the batting, the kind of
yeah,
players they have at top of the order. and they're bowling as well. They've got Bhuvi, Hazelwood, then Krunal Pandya, then Suyash Sharma is there. I mean, the balance is right up there. And if they are able to
yeah,
keep that momentum going, I think they are a dangerous side in this particular season. The only thing which they have to manage is the injuries, obviously, and obviously the pressure thing. But I think I can at this point of time. I know it's a pretty early to make any comment, but I think I see a parallel between 2016 season and this one in particular. Although in 2016 as well, their bowling was not really balanced, but still their batting
yeah,
was so heavy that they were able to sort of do. They were literally pulling rabbit out of their head, in terms of batting. But this time, I think the squad is fairly well balanced, and I think they are one of the favorites. I think we discussed this in the beginning as well that
we discussed it. Yeah,
surprisingly they had a really uh, good auction, I would say. I mean, the strategy was on point. They
yeah,
did not do typical RCB things in the auction, and I think that's showing up there. And the way Patidar is sort of leading them. I know Kohli is there on
yeah,
the field, but I think Patidar has earned that respect of the team members. And
yeah,
as a captain, the moment you start earning the respect of your teammate, that makes a lot of difference. And I think he has had a great domestic season as well, leading MP
yeah,
in the finals of the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. And uh,
yeah.
the way he's leading here, leading from the front with respect to batting, with respect to field changes, with respect to strategy, I think it's really, really good to see.
Yeah. No, I mean, see, as an RCB fan, see, the story only unravels once you reach Chinnaswamy. So that so until an RCB team plays in Chinnaswamy and an RCB fan, I am not happy. I am not satisfied. I know that there is another part of the coin, another side of the coin, which will unravel and the Chinnaswamy. Suddenly, the same bowling attack will look like out of plan, will look under pressure, and that happens. This is always a template. Once you reach Chinnaswamy, the same squad struggles. But okay, I mean, like you said, right? At least on performance right now, they're looking really good. I think if they continue this performance, a top four finish is guaranteed the way they play. And more really
Yes.
heartening for an RCB fan is the bowling lineup. One of the persons we discussed is like Yash Dayal, probably the best bowler last year, is coming one down. I mean, if you have Yash Dayal as one down, like one of the smartest bowlers right now, I feel. And opening is Bhuvi and Hazelwood. I mean, how do you attack these two, man? I don't think there are really good batsmen who can take down both of them. Maybe one of them you can take down, but not both. And then you have Yash Dayal coming in, and then Krunal Pandya. Krunal Pandya is hardly used yesterday, but you know how good an economical spinner he is. And my biggest weak link here was Suyash Sharma, but I'm seeing Suyash Sharma also getting the confidence coming in and a lot of confidence from the captain, Patidar himself, right? Like you knew that CSK were down and you knew that, okay, you had the game in your hand. And he ended up bowling Suyash more than Krunal. It's very easy to bowl Krunal and get those four overs out economy, but fine, you want to give confidence to your best spinner, your mainline spinner, who is Suyash, and you want him to perform against the best batsman. And that's what he did. So I'm very happy to see that captaincy coming in and, giving chance to players who can probably perform better for you later on in the tournament. Yeah.
No, no, fair point, Sulesh. On Suyesh is this thing, no, because when once RCB starts playing at Chinnaswamy, I think
Yeah.
Suyesh will be a critical factor over there.
Correct.
Because
Yeah.
you need a leg. We have discussed this multiple times how crucial
Yeah.
UC Chahal has been to RCB at
Correct.
Chinnaswamy, right? He's
Yeah.
got belted at times, but he's got those crucial wickets in the middle overs as well, and that's where Suyesh Sharma will have to come to the party if
Yeah.
RCB has got to do well at Chinnaswamy. But I think one thing which I'd like to point out, other than obviously we talked about the bowling depth and bowling balance, with Bhuvi, Hazelwood, Yash Dayal, and all those players being in there. But with respect
Yeah.
to batting as well, so historically, if you see at RCB's batting lineup, they are like really top heavy. You got Gale or Faf,
Yeah.
Kohli, ABD, or Maxwell. The top
Maxwell.
three have
Yeah.
been the force for them. But in this season, what is really heartening to see, you got a good opening pair in Salt and Kohli and Padikkal as well. Then you got Rajat Patidar as number three and number four, who's as solid as
Yeah.
anyone, right? And then you got someone like Livingston, Jitesh Sharma, and Tim David to finish the
Ritesh.
things off.
Yeah.
And then you got
Yeah.
a liberty to play someone like Kunal Pandya as well. If required for a couple of overs, he can go bonkers.
Yeah.
I think the balance in batting is amazing this time around. And like you mentioned about Chinnaswamy, I think this batting lineup will enjoy
Yeah.
batting, especially that lower middle order. I think they will
Agree.
gonna have a good time at Chinnaswamy. So I am really
Yeah. Yeah.
backing on RCB this.
No, no, you're right. I'm expecting some powerhouse hitting from Livingston and all once he come to Sinaswamy. And Jitesh also, that six hit of Noor Ahmad. I mean, Noor Ahmad was like
Yeah.
literally doing a stranglehold, right? He just came in and hit at six. I'm then like, shit, this is the potential. So yeah, excited to see that particular lineup in Chinnaswamy. You're right. I mean, it'll be a very explosive innings. Yeah, I mean, it's a good. So since RCB has such a good time with the bat, right? It's probably we discussed the CSK innings with the bat. I don't know, right? I mean, I saw Rachin in the first match also, and okay, he took the team through, right? I mean, and that's probably a role which has been assigned to him. But when you're chasing 190 and upfront itself, you can't. I don't know. I mean, I found it very strange. I know Rahul Tripathi tried to hit it out, and maybe that's the role given to Rachin, that everybody around you will be hitting and you'll have to take the anchor role. But I'm not a big fan of the anchor role anymore. Kohli used to do it earlier, but Kohli doesn't do it anymore. But I don't know. Very clueless innings I felt from Rachin also.
No, fair. The way I see it with respect to CSK, they always had that one player who sort of tends to bat
Hmm.
for the like 10, 15, 20 overs. Gaikwad,
Yeah,
let's talk about 22, 23, or 21, I think, when they won the season. Gaikwad and Faf used to open. Faf used to go like really hard at top of the order, and Gaikwad used to sort of play through. Uh, this time around, the problem with CSK is that so they're opening with Tripathi and Rachin Ravindra. Tripathi's role is to sort of take on the bowlers early on, right? And if
Hmm.
Tripathi is not firing, then the balance is
Yeah,
off for CSK. So that's the biggest
yeah,
problem for them. Somehow Tripathi has to find his form. Otherwise, what happens is that then you have someone like a Gaikwad coming at three, who again is not someone who will sort of go bonkers from the ball one, right? He also needs a few ball to get his feet moving, and he'll need those couple of overs to sort of get into the groove, right?
yeah, yeah.
So I think the Tripathi here is the key factor for CSK. If Tripathi
Hmm.
is not firing, then I think they'll have to go back to someone else, right? Because they need that solidity at top of the order. Rachin
I
Ravindra
have a
will.
question. Yeah, yeah. No, please go ahead. Yeah,
No, I'm saying Rachin Ravindra. I think I know you got a strike at 140, 150 at least, even if you are playing that anchor role. But I think I don't
yeah.
expect a 180, 190 kind of thing or that kind of approach from Rachin. I don't think that's the role of Rachin in the side.
Okay, fine, that's fine. But then see, like how Phil Salt does a 200 strike rate, right? Can you get a 200 strike rate from Tripathi? I don't. I've never seen him strike at a 200 strike rate. Is he the
No,
right
no, no.
person? Is my question now.
No, I think Tripathi has got the all the skills to do that. He has done that
Okay.
in. I think we saw him first time in 2017 in RPS, Rising Pune Super Giant, when
In
he
Pune.
when he
Yeah,
made all the
yeah,
headlines where they went on to reach the finals, right? I
yeah.
think he has got all the skills. He, unfortunately for him, he did not get too many chances at KKR or SRH in the last few seasons. But I think
Fair.
the role, the expectation from Tripathi is that he will play like that, and that you can clearly see. He's trying to go hard at the bowling from first over itself. Unfortunately, in the first couple of games, it did not work out for for the
Yeah,
team. But I think that's what he has been told to do. That's what my hype, because it's very critical. Otherwise, you have Gaikwad at three. Then Huda, I'm not sure. Again, I think his form is like always a question
yeah,
mark. Shivam Dubey at four
yeah,
or five. Then he is the one who can sort of take on the bowling. But he's coming at four or five, right? Then you need someone at top of the order who can be like really aggressive, like a Phil Salt, or maybe like a, I don't know, Rickelton from Mumbai, something like
yeah.
that. Or the way, as far as everyone is playing that role, the top three and four are playing a similar brand of cricket. They are a different side, but at least from all the other teams' point of view, I think you need someone who can take on the bowling from the ball one.
Correct. And like I'm seeing that middle order really weak. I
Yeah.
mean, okay, and you can't revolve your middle order around Dubey, right? I mean, he's good. I know he's good. He can take down the spinners, but I don't think a middle order should be revolving around Dubey. I mean, and RCB has a Patidar who can probably revolve around the middle order a little late, and Jitesh also. But and you have people like Jadeja who's not really set the world on fire for T20 cricket, and then Ashwin. That's not the best lower middle order I can think of, to be really frank.
I think there is no middle order only.
Yeah, yeah,
Jadeja is
yeah,
a number seven. He's a number seven batter for India, right? And if he's
yeah,
coming at number five or number six, then
yeah.
something is seriously wrong. And I have a
Something wrong.
big question mark. I'm a big MS Dhoni fan. You know that, right? His entire
Let's
aura
let's
around him.
discuss the
There
elephant in the
are
room.
millions and millions people like me who are hardcore MS Dhoni fans. But I'm really not happy with the way things have been going at CSK, right? If
Yeah,
Dhoni is not fit to bat at number five or number six, then I think there is
yeah,
no place for him, right? I know, he's there. He wants to play those four, five balls, six balls, in the end, hit couple of sixes, give fans that euphoria and all those things. But from the CSK's point of view, I think I would rather have someone who is a youngster probably who's willing to prove himself, who wants to bat in those tough situations. Because yesterday what happened was there was the need of say vintage Dhoni. He's 43 now.
yes,
अगर 10 साल पहले की बात करते धोनी would have come down at 5 or 6 right before Jadeja,
yeah,
and he would have taken
yeah,
the game deep, played the typical Dhoni innings and at least keeping
Yeah.
the game close. But now Dhoni has lost that thing. Let's be honest about it. He's 43, right? You can't expect him to play that kind of knock, right? All he can do is probably come in 18th or 19th over, hit a couple of sixes, couple of boundaries, and the fans go crazy and all those things, right? But in these kind of situations, having Dhoni is gonna be a weak link for CSK. That's my biggest worry. Now with Dhoni, you got Jadeja and Ashwin, around him in the batting order, who again are not really reliable as a batter, right? Especially as T20 batters. So I think that's going to be a big problem. The middle order, especially the lower middle order. And if we talk about the backups as well, I don't think that they've got too many good Indian batters in there. They've got Vijay Shankar again, who's like really unreliable, and so I think CSK. I think I know we discussed this that strategy. On paper their team was not that great, but we always
Yeah.
expected CSK to come out hard and do certain things
Correct.
which nobody else can. But I think this time around that magic, at least in the first couple of games, I know they've won the first game, but still the magic is missing for me.
No, good. I mean, good. We're having this conversation, right? And I want more CSK fans to discuss this. Like, you can't have an MSD at 9. It's ridiculous. I mean, in whichever order, whichever 11 you make, MS Dhoni should never come in at 9. And if a CSK fans are cheering his 6 coming in at 9, then they should question why can't this man come in early? It's as simple as that.
Exactly.
And if he can't come in early because of fitness or whatever reasons, then he should not, like you said, he should not be there in the team. And then the question comes is who else, right? We discussed this also. Like, are there no keepers? I mean, he's playing. Okay, assuming he's playing as a keeper, does CSK not have keepers who can probably bat higher up the order? That's the question. Maybe not. Maybe they don't have it.
Maybe so. I mean, they have an option to get in Conway back in the side,
Conway, yeah,
but they'll have
yeah,
to sacrifice Rachin Ravindra if they want to get in Conway. Uh,
yeah,
so I don't know. They've got Sheikh Rashid, who's a very highly rated T20 batter youngster. Other than that,
yeah.
they've got Vijay. I don't think they've got that good backups as well, to be honest. And I still believe if Dhoni should be in the side and he should come at six. If I mean,
He should,
I
but
can't see
can he?
batting at eight.
I- Like, I don't know. Can he? Like you said, he's 43, or I don't know how old is he, and he can't probably run as fast as he could earlier. He can
That
probably
I
only
think
hit the
that we
sixes.
saw yesterday as well. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so he
But
probably can
still,
hit
that
only the sixes.
all said and done, then in that case, he shouldn't be playing. No, I mean, I know I'm a very, how big a fan I am. But again,
Yeah, yeah,
from the great
yeah, yeah.
point of
For
view, the
you to
larger
make the
picture point of
statement
view,
that he shouldn't be playing, yeah,
yeah, from the larger picture point of view, from the CSK's point of view, this Dhoni coming at 8 and 9, especially in these kind of situations, is not making sense. If
yeah,
CSK is batting first and you got a good start and you got a good score on board, and then he's coming at 8 or 9 or maybe lower down the order for a couple of overs, it is in the 17th or 18th over, it makes sense. In these kind of
yeah,
situations, when you need someone who can sort of drive the chase, then I think this is not making sense. I mean, all I can say is that obviously he's not fit enough to play like 6 7 overs. He cannot come in 13th or 14th over. Then I think in that case there is a question mark over his place as well. That's my
yeah. And
honest.
agree, completely agree. And you see, if you really end up scoring the 30 or 15 balls, why can't you do it when you're coming in at 6 or 7? Do the same thing, right? Maybe you're out in 2 overs. Maybe, but at least there's somebody around you. At least the required run rate has come down. There's little less pressure on somebody else. When you're doing it so late, it's just immaterial. It's like it's of no use, right? If you probably do the 30 or 16 earlier in the 16th over, it'll relax. It'll make it a little more easier for the batsman coming later.
So the problem with CSK is that even if Dhoni comes at 5 or 6 maybe, then they don't have the power to sort of pull any chase off after that, right? So that is the biggest problem. They don't have that power hitting options in the lower order. You cannot expect Jadeja. I mean, Jadeja has been a good servant of the Indian cricket as well, but
Yeah,
you cannot expect him to
you
strike at
can't. Yeah,
consistently at 200 strikes. Ashwin is a
yeah,
bowler. I mean, he's also 40, right?
yeah,
So you can't expect Ashwin to do that job, right?
yeah,
They
yeah.
have to figure out a way. They have to find someone in the bench. I'm sure they'll have a couple of youngsters waiting in the bench who can do this job.
Yeah.
Someone like a Sheath, or I don't know. I only know one name. There's a lot of and they've got good backups in bowling, but I'm not too sure. They picked someone called Vansh Bedi as well. I'm not aware what his credentials are with respect to domestic tournaments and all. But I think they'll have
Yeah,
to find someone from the and put him in the spot and see what I mean. They did with Rizuraj back in 2021, and he delivered, right?
yeah,
So they have
yeah.
to find an option there. Otherwise, I think the season is looking really tricky for CSK.
No, you're right. And see, okay, Like they won the first match, right? You can bank on spin at Chepauk. Fine. I mean, I don't think other teams will come and attack us like how RCB did. It's difficult. I mean, I'm sure CSK will come back harder as a bowling unit, but as a batting unit, that's the question, right? I mean, and once you travel, you can't expect your bowlers to always restrict teams to a lower score and okay, somehow your team will get through. You should have a good batting lineup and a strong batting lineup. And like I said, the middle and the lower middle order is non-existent. And that's going to bite you.
Yeah,
That's going to bite you when you travel. That's going to bite you when teams attack your spinners. Exactly like we saw last time. But like you said, the best solution is try out somebody else, right? I mean, try out somebody else
yeah.
in that position and see how he can do. Let him score like a quick fire to a 20 ball, 40, 50 and see what's happening. But yeah, this experiment is just bad for everyone. I mean, bad for the fans, bad for fans of Dhoni, bad for fans of CSK, and you can't cheer this. You can't cheer. I
Yeah,
don't
you
know how
can't.
can fans cheer
See,
this, man. It's frustrating.
no, no, you can't. Actually, I was watching this yesterday, and when Dhoni was hitting, I, I was questioning this. यार यार क्या फायदा हो रहा है? I was not able to
Yeah,
enjoy that. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
that's a very tricky situation, and especially even on the flat decks, if their top order is not firing, then CSK is going to
yeah,
find it really hard. Even when they travel to say Hyderabad or RCB or
yeah,
Mumbai, they're not going to
yeah.
find it easy. It's going to be hard because they other teams have got the batters who can strike the ball at 250 or 200 plus consistently. These guys, I think they'll have to someone like a Tripathi would have to pull up their socks, and I think they don't have too many options, unfortunately.
Yeah, you think the game's slowly drifting away from the style CSK plays. I mean, I think the game is now moving towards the 180, 200 strike rate. It's no more that 140, 160, 170 strike rate guys who could do. It's moving away to the 180, 200, and maybe CSK is missing the trick,
No,
missing
so
the trick there.
I think Suresh, the shift is definitely there, and historically CSK has been blessed with a couple of players who can play at that level. Like in the last
Yeah,
couple of
yeah.
seasons, Aditya Rahane was consistently striking at 200, right? At number
And
three,
Shivam Dubey,
the season
yeah,
before. Shivam Dubey was there, and top of the
yeah,
order, they were getting good starts. The moment you're
yeah,
not getting those good starts from top of the order, from the
yeah,
likes of Tripathi and Gaikwad, then I think that entire dynamics changed, right?
yeah.
These guys have to find their form if CSK has to come back in this game. Otherwise, I know there's been only two games, but I can see that trend already in front of my eyes. It's gonna be really really hard if Tripathi or say
Yeah.
Gaikwad are not fighting. It's gonna be really really
No,
hard.
you're right. I mean, CSK is always dependent on that top heavy batting in terms of getting their opening partnership is very, very crucial for CSK. Always it's been the case. And Tripathi has been, like you said, a very, very crucial role. And hopefully he has the skills to do it. Hopefully he gets into the form early. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough fight for CSK.
Yeah. Because the
And
moment you
any,
score
any,
like
any,
8 overs,
yeah,
70, 80 runs, and then the likes of Shivam Dubey, even Jadeja, can come into the picture, and maybe Deepak Huda as well. Before we forgetting him, he has got all
yeah,
these skills in the game.
he has a century for India
He's
as well,
someone
right?
who's like horribly out of form.
Yeah.
So it's a tricky situation when
No,
your top three out of your top four are completely out of form. They're looking off color.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean,
Let's see.
Deepak Huda,
Long way to
has the
go.
talent.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Long way to go. It's a funny
Yeah, it's long.
tournament.
It's a long season, and I mean, unlike somebody, CSK has at least won one match, and there is a positive. I mean, it's just one. Probably RCB are good this time. I think that's the only thing you can say. So hopefully CSK comes back, and I mean, like it's like you said, right? It's just a matter of few players being out of form, and Deepak Huda has scored a century for India. I mean, so he has the talent. So it's just a matter of time maybe that these guys come into the picture. But otherwise, yeah, good signs for RCB and little difficult signs for CSK. As an RCB fan, I'm very happy. Again, fingers crossed. Until it comes to Chinnaswamy, nothing can be said about this team. That's always been the Achilles heel, and looking forward to the season. I mean, it's a very exciting season. I never expected LSG to beat SRH, and that has happened. So I think it's a
That's
very
awesome.
very close. Yeah, it's a very different season this
And,
time. I mean, a lot of
and today as
unexpected
well, I think we
matches.
got a one heck of a game coming up. Gujarat versus Mumbai at Ahmedabad.
Oh yeah,
Hardik Pandya coming
Ahmedabad.
back to Gujarat again. It's gonna be fun. Let's see how it unfolds. I think we'll come back tomorrow, same time around
Yeah,
the same time to
yeah, yeah.
discuss that game. Yeah. Then have a happy weekend. Enjoy. Bye.
Sure. You too. Bye.